You're raising the red flag here. Many other Democrats are raising the alarm. The New York Times editorial board is raising the alarm, saying when Donald Trump says something, believe him. But according to polls, the top issues facing Americans, everyday Americans, aren't threats to democracy. Instead, they're the economy, inflation, immigration. So, is a referendum on Trump enough? How does Harris pitch this? Because is she offering a different America, or is she just saying, hey, we're going to have the status quo if I'm elected, but if Trump's elected, that's when things get dark? Because right now, most Americans don't like the status quo.
Yeah, and that is definitely a concern. But I think that what we need to focus on as the Democratic Party is that right now we have to keep the status quo in order to continue to even have elections to get progress. So what that might look like is that if in the scenario that Donald Trump wins on November 6th or that week after election, there will potentially be no elections ever again. That could be the last election that we vote in for the presidency. And that is real danger. And that is no progress because once we have no elections, we're not electing anybody. It becomes a dictatorship. If Kamala is elected, sure, yes, we might have the status quo for the next 4 years, but what does it look like in 2028? Is that the time for AOC to step up in primary? Is that the time for Jasmine Crockett potentially to step up in primary Kamala? I think that it opens up an entirely new realm of possibility if Kamala Harris is elected. And that is the type of democracy we want to see. We want to have a real primary in the Democratic Party. But to have a real primary, we have to have somebody that even believes in elections.
So when Republicans or other critics say that's what you're saying now is dramatic, it is hyperbolic, what do you say to that?
Well, I mean, Trump said it himself. So, Trump said himself that he will be a dictator on day one. If somebody is saying that, then we have to believe it and take it very seriously. Does that mean that he will personally stay in office? I don't really think so. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I honestly think that at the end of this next 4 years, whether Trump wins or loses, I don't think that there will be another run for office. However, there are a lot of people that are much younger and a lot more dangerous that are ready to take the reins, including but not limited to Matt Gaetz, Elise Stefanik. The list goes on of all of these people who have that. They're ready. JD Vance is a great example. They are ready to take on Trump's message and even take it to a greater level. And also, they're not dying in the next 10 years, these folks. A lot of these people, like Elise Stefanik, she's really young. I think she's only in her early 30s. So she's got a long way to go.